कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. I'll show you the verse now. Is it verse, is it? Not this one. What is the verse number? 428-29. Correct? So this morning we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 4th canto, 28th chapter. Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life. And we are reading the 29th verse. Upaye me वीर्यपणां वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधि निर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यपरपुरञ्जयः। उपये मे वीर्यपणां वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधि निर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः। उपये मे वीर्यपणां वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधि निर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः। उपये मे वीर्यपणां मलयध्वजः युधि निर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः। उपये मे वीर्यपणान् वैदर्भे मलयध्वजः युधिनिर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः उपयेमे वीर्यपणाम् वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधिनिर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः Mataji's उपयेमे वीर्यपणाम् वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधिनिर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः उपयेमे married, वीर्य of valor or prabhas, panam the prize, Vaidarbhim daughter of Vidarbha, Malayadhwaja Malayadhwaja, Yudhi in the fight, Nirjitya after conquering, Rajanyan other princes, Pandya best of the learned, or born in the country known as Pandu, Para transcendental, Puram city, Jayaha conqueror. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. It was fixed that Vaidarbhi, daughter of King Vidarbha, was to be married to a very powerful man, Malayadhwaja, an inhabitant of the Pandu country. After conquering other princes, he married the daughter of King Vidarbha. Purport. It is customary among Kshatriyas for a princess to be offered under certain conditions. For instance, Draupadi was offered in marriage to one who could pierce a fish with an arrow simply by seeing the reflection of that fish. Krishna married one of his queens after conquering 7 strong bulls. Isn't it? What is the name of that king? Lagnajiti, yeah, correct. The Vedic system is for a daughter of a king to be offered under certain conditions. Vaidarbhi, the daughter of Vidarbha, was offered to a great devotee and powerful king. Since King Malayadhwaja was both a powerful king and a great devotee, he fulfilled all the requirements. The name Malayadhwaja signifies a great devotee who stands as firm as Malaya hill and through his propaganda makes other devotees similarly as firm. Such a Mahabhagavata can prevail over the opinions of all others. A strong devotee makes propaganda against all other spiritual conceptions, namely jnana, karma, and yoga. With his devotional flag unfurled, he always stands fast to conquer other conceptions of transcendental realization. Whenever there is an argument between a devotee and a non-devotee, the pure strong devotee comes out victorious. The word Pandya comes from the word Panda, meaning knowledge. Unless one is highly learned, he cannot conquer non-devotional conceptions. The word Para means transcendental and Pura means city. The Parapura is Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God. And the word Jaya refers to one who can conquer. This means that a pure devotee who is strong in devotional service and who has conquered all non-devotional conceptions can also conquer the kingdom of God. In other words, one can conquer the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, only by rendering devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Ajita, meaning that no one can conquer him. But a devotee, by strong devotional service and sincere attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can easily conquer him. Lord Krishna is fear personified for everyone, but he voluntarily agreed to fear the stick of Mother Yashoda. Krishna, God, cannot be conquered by anyone but his devotee. Such a devotee kindly married the daughter of King Vidarbha. So, how Malayadhwaja is a great soul will be revealed in the later section. He was a pure devotee, Malayadhwaja. Malayadhwaja and Vaidarbi, in their Vanaprastha stage, they go to the forest. Mm. And they practice devotional service. Vaidarbi is assisting him, and Malayadhwaja is practicing devotional service very intensely, seriously. Mm. And as Prabhupada says, Dwaja means flag. Malaya means Malaya Hills. Like Malaya Hills is very strong mountain. huh? Like that, he was very strong in devotional service. Hmm. And the flag represents he conquered all the lower conceptions of so-called spirituality. Um, so Prabhupada explains this that by strong devotional service, Lord is attracted. Strong devotional service subordinates the Lord. So what is the example he gives? Like Yashoda is able to catch Krishna and bind him. Or Arjuna is able to have Krishna as Partha Sarathi, driving his chariot. Lord becomes subordinate to devotees, strong devotional service, he says. Mm. And for the Dwaja, for the Janda or the flag, he says, a devotee should be able to boldly preach and conquer all the lower conceptions of karma, jnana, yoga, and everything, and establish bhakti yoga as the ultimate. So when we read this, who comes to our mind immediately? Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, isn't it? So these people are known for, these personalities are known for driving out all the misconceptions, like we say, Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Paschatya Desha Tarine. In the same manner, what is Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur's pranati mantra? Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine Sri Varshavaanavi Devi Daitaya Kribabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Deenatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvantaharine. That is Dwaja. Rupanuga Viruddha, if somebody is presenting some false philosophical conceptions that you are God, I am God, everybody is God, this is one false conception. Or somebody says you can directly approach God, you don't have to go through a guru, that is Sahajiyaism. Sahajiyas reject guru and try to go to Krishna directly. And Mayavadis make guru into God. Both are false conceptions. We need guru also and God also, both. Like we worship Gaur and Nitai. Gaur is God, Nitai is Adi Guru. We worship the Guru and Krishna together. So, Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata gurau tasyaite katita hyarta prakashante mahatmanaha. When a disciple worships Guru and Krishna together, understanding Guru should be given respect as good as Krishna. But Guru is not Krishna. At the same time, he deserves to be respected like Krishna because he gifts us Krishna. Therefore, he should be respected like that. There is one organization in these days very popular for making big, big temples all across the globe. And they are very moneyed people also. They have followers who are very wealthy. They make stone temples very attractive. And they also have some connection to one of the Vaishnava Sampradayas. But eventually, although their original founder clearly writes, the ultimate goal of life is to worship Shri Radha and Krishna, and I bow down my head at their lotus feet. That's the first verse he writes in the Shiksha Patris. He writes. But then eventually down the line, they have made, when you go to the temple hall, on one side you find Shiva and Parvati on that side, and this side you find Radha and Krishna. But in the altar, mainly they have kept only the gurus. So they are making gurus the object of worship. And Radha Krishna and Lord Shiva Parvati, they all have gone to the side. So that's a kind of deviation. That's a kind of deviation. Very dangerous deviation it is. Because there is a flaw in the Siddhanta. Yes, it is true. Guru should be respected like God, but you can't make Guru bigger than God. Or you can't substitute God with Guru. So these kind of apasiddhantas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, completely smashed and drove out. So these are not the only one. There are many. If you want to know more Apasiddhanta, you can go to the seventh canto. There are five type of dharmas explained, beginning with Vidharma, Paradharma, Abhasa Dharma, and Upadharma, Chaladharma. Five types, he says. Like Vidharma means, you know, pretending to be religious but breaking the regulative principles. Like there are even some organizations where somebody may wear a dress of a sannyasi, but they may still eat meat. Huh? They do not know that meat eating is wrong. Huh? Either they don't know or they know it, they are unable to control it. Huh? There are also certain, if you go to Kumbh Mela, you see some sadhus smoking bidi also. Huh? So this is Vidharma. Vidharma means you wear attire of a, you know, a religious person, but then we break the religious principles, Vidharma. And Paradharma means you do the dharma that is meant for someone else. Paradharma Bhayavaha, Krishna says in Gita. Like for example, Brahmana should do Brahmana work, Kshatriya should do Kshatriya work, Vaishya should do Vaishya work. If somebody is trying to, like Ekalavya was trying to become a Kshatriya, although his qualities were such that if he would adopt the role of a Kshatriya, he would cause great damage in society. That was foreseen by Dronacharya, who refused to accept him as a disciple. But then he insisted keeping a portrait of him and learning the archery. And later on, he pinned the mouth of a dog with 5 arrows. The poor creature was screaming. When Arjuna detected that and brought it to Dronacharya and said, someone has clipped the mouth of a dog. It is unable to bark. Huh? So he said, Dronacharya said, this must be the act of a fool. It is inappropriate action. You are not supposed to kill a dog or a cat with your arrows. You should know when to use and where to use. So then afterwards he said it must be work of Ekalavya. He called him and then he was called and then he took his thumb away so that he can't misuse his archery talent. This is not known to so many people. Many people think Ekalavya gave his thumb to Guru, such a great Guru Bhakta. They think like that in India. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a correct explanation that Ekalavya actually became whimsical, independent-minded and acted against the order of Guru by making a portrait of Guru to increase his own fame and reputation. And then using that, he wanted to become more skilled and then become popular in the world. Sometimes a disciple may use the fame of Guru to increase one's own popularity. So he was one similar to that. So therefore he was asked to give away the thumb. Like that. It is Paradharma he was doing. So one should give up Vidharma, one should give up Paradharma, one should give up Abhasa Dharma. Abhasa Dharma is actually like Bhakti Abhas is Sahajaism. Sahajaism means somebody is chanting and singing and crying tears, shaking their body, rolling on the ground, simply to show to others, I am a great devotee. Everybody should touch my feet. So these type of people are also there. Prabhupada never gave any respect to such pretenders. It's called Abhasa Dharma. Abhasa Dharma means it looks like great bhakti, but there is no bhakti there. It's simply a display of, a pretensive, display of a pretense. It's actually not a true bhakti at all. So, and these people later on, they are found to be indulging in illicit connections and doing all nonsensical activities. So, therefore, such Sahajaism is condemned as Abhasa Dharma, which looks like they pretend to be great devotees. What is that verse? Shruti Smriti Puram Pancharatriki Vidim Vina Aikantika Hare Bhaktir Utpata Yaiva Kalpate. If somebody is pretending to do bhakti, but they don't study Shruti, Smriti, Puran, based on that, because Sahaja has condemned Jiva Goswami, saying that why is he becoming a jnani? What is the need? For bhakti, you don't need to become a great scholar. You just, cry tears, roll on the ground, Radhe Radhe, you chant, that's all. You do bhakti. But Jiva Goswami is a pure devotee. He has summarized all the Vedic literature in very nice sandarbhas and everything for what? in order to establish bhakti as the ultimate goal of life. So, without enlightenment, one should not just make a pretense of bhakti. So, abhasa dharma is condemned. Similarly, there is chala dharma. Chala dharma means like impersonless. Impersonless, they pretend to be like devotees. They also worship Murti. But later they will drop the Murti in water. You have seen in Durga Puja time, they will worship Durga for 10 days and then what they will do? They throw it in water. And Ganesh Chaturthi time, they will worship Ganesh for some 1 week and they will put him in water. Have you ever seen in ISKCON anywhere people worship Krishna, Radha Krishna and put them in water? Whole life they will worship, and after they pass away, then other devotees will continue to worship. In Vaishnava philosophy, the worship of the Lord, chanting of the holy name, performance of bhakti is everlasting, eternal. It's imperishable bhakti yoga. That is true bhakti. We are doing bhakti so that in a spiritual world we will again continue to do bhakti. Not that now we do bhakti and after some time we become very powerful, we become liberated, then throw God into the water. We will not do that in bhakti. So therefore, Charadharma means putting the vesh bhush of a bhakta, but having some other goal in mind. Once when I went to Bengal, I saw one very elderly person along with his wife. They were in a vanaprastha stage, like 70, 75 years old. And he was wearing a tilak, Urdhapundra tilak. And I saw he's a Vaishnava. So he was actually parent of one devotee. So that devotee told me that they are going to move to an ashram there. They're going to join full time. Now they are 70 years now. They want to leave home and go and stay in the ashram. I said, that's wonderful. So seeing his Urda Punda Tilak, I said, you look like a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Who is your guru and which line you come from? Maybe I thought maybe he may be Nityananda Vamsha, Advaita Vamsha, something he may be coming in this applicable line. So he said, no. He said, I belong to, and then he told some Mayavadi Mat name. And he said, but how do you wear this tilak? He said, our path is Chaitanya Path, Shankara Mat. He said, Chaitanya Path means we like the path of Chaitanya, chanting, dancing, and calling the holy name. But our goal is ultimately to merge in God. So this is Chala Dharma, cheating Dharma. Just like, you use a ladder to climb upstairs and then you kick away the ladder. Or you use a spoon to stir and then you throw away the spoon. Similarly, use Murti or use the mantra for getting moksha, and after you get moksha, you give it up. That is Chala Dharma. A devotee can never give up the Lord's lotus feet. It's a Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam suzukam kartum. The word avyayam means what? Bhakti is eternal. Bhakti is imperishable. Bhakti never stops anytime. It is apratiyata, uninterrupted. So anybody who interrupts their bhakti and thinks, now I am liberated, that is actually Chala Dharma. How many I told you? For Vidharma, Paradharma. One more is called Upadharma. So Vidharma, Abhasa Dharma, Chala Dharma, and then I told you, Paradharma I told you. The fifth one is Upadharma. Upadharma means, like for example, there may be one limb of religion, like say Ahimsa for example. But that's not the ultimate religion. There may be a branch of a tree, but branch of a tree is not the root of the tree. It branch is a branch only. Like Ahimsa is one of the branches of the religious principles. But if you see Bauddha Dharma, they have made Ahimsa the Paramo Dharma. And that is called Upadharma. They are making a small shaka, one branch of Dharma into ultimate. In ISKCON, you will see, within 6 months, 1 year, people follow Ahimsa very easily. They give up meat eating and everything. It's not that that's ultimate. Ultimate is love of God. Awakening love for God. That's ultimate. So awakening love for God is like the root of all religion. And all other sub-religions are like branches sprouting from that. We may have, worshipping mother, worshipping father, worshipping Atithi. Matru Deva Baba, Pitru Deva Baba, Atithi Deva Baba. And there is Samaj Dharma, there is Tri Dharma, there is Kula Dharma, different dharmas. They are all branches. But the root of all the religions originally is love of God. So Veda pranihito dharmaha adharmastat viparyayaha Vedo narayana sakshat swayambhuriti shushruma. Like that Yamadutas told the Vishnudutas that all the dharma, what it is said in the Vedas. So they knew the Vedic dharma, but they didn't know the Bhagavata dharma. And the Bhagavata dharma was taught by whom? To them. Of course, Yamaraj also spoke, but prior to going to Yamaraj, even Vishnudutta spoke. The glory of the holy name. They also taught. But Bhagavad Dharma was more elaborately spoken by Yamaraj. He told them about 12 Mahajans and told them that that ultimate Dharma, Paro Dharma, there is nothing beyond that. Love of God is ultimate. It is Pancham Purushartha. Beyond the four Purusharthas of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So, in this way, Malayadhwaja stands for the Paro Dharma practitioner and Paro Dharma preacher. He lives it and he teaches it. So that is Dwaja. And he smashes all the lower conceptions and drives them away. Other conceptions are subordinate conceptions. They don't have any stand in front of this Parodharma. Parodharma is like the sun shining in the sky. All other dharmas are like small lamps or candles in front of that. Like sometimes a sadhu is teaching that you should, do service to people, social service. You should build a hospital, or you should build a annakshetra, or you should respect your mother and father, or you should respect your nation and things like that, or you should take care of cows. All this is correct, but they are all subordinate dharma. But the ultimate dharma is to love the source of everything. Janmadhyasya yataha, that is Krishna. That is ultimate dharma. So in this way, he was a strong devotee. At the same time, he conquered all the lower philosophies and established the highest philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So in that connection, I want to show something regarding Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. You can see here. I'll make it a little bigger. All right. Coming? Is it bright enough? You can increase the brightness. See, the purpose of our temples, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, what he says, you see here. One of you ready to have the mic with you?
The mathas, temples were not established to favor ordinary people, but to help pure devotees advance in spiritual life. We serve Lord Gauranga simply by performing Shri Krishna Sankirtana. The Bhagavatam verse, Yajna Sankirtana Prahi Yajanti Sumedasaha, supports this idea. The example set by Shri Krishna's Gaura pastimes is the only auspicious way to perfection for the Jivans.
So he's saying our temples are not established to favor ordinary people, he's saying. Who are the ordinary people? Ordinary people who are generally religious people, they come to temple, just bow down to God to seek some favors from God. Huh? Oh God, please give me this, give me that. That's one type of people. There are some other people who do business with God. If you give me 5 lakh, I'll give you 1 lakh. They do business with the deities. And most of the people come to temple, ring a bell, put a coin and bow down and go. It's a regular ritual for them. There are people who go on Monday to one temple, Wednesday to another temple, Friday to another temple. In India, it's very common sight. So this is ordinary worship. Our temples are not there for that purpose, he's saying. See, think about it. ISKCON is establishing many big temples. What are the type of people we are attracting is very important. He's saying our temples are not established for favoring ordinary people who do not know anything about the deity standing there, who do not know anything about the Shastra. They are not practicing serious devotional service. They just come as a ritual, just like people go to Kumbh Mela once in a year to get liberated. Whenever it happens. So people who go like that, that is not the type of people our Mata should attract, is saying. We should serve Lord Gauranga by performing Sri Krishna Sankirtan, he's saying. Read further. Matas?
The mathas have not been established to please bhogis or tyagis, enjoyers or renunciates.
Yeah, what happens with enjoyers? Enjoyers may stay in the matha, eat well and sleep well and increase their comforts and facilities. Like when Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, so one of the disciples, he spent his entire life savings in building one big matha called Bagh Bazar Mat. Huh? And he exhausted the money so much that he had not a single penny in the bank. And then he went to spiritual master and offered obeisance and said, Maharaj, I have nothing else. And his guru, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, told him, you also come and live in the matha. Huh? So he also lived in the matha only. Till his last days, he lived also there. But the matha you go and see even today, it's very beautifully built. With nice marble and everything, huge size. Prior to that, Bhaktivedanta Thakur and his disciples, they were living in a small matha which would not be able to provide facility for their comfortable stay. It was a very congested place, very small matha. After that, they left that small place and came to this big place. And Sri Bhaktivedanta Thakur saw that the disciples had a tussle. Somebody wanted a bigger office. He said, you take the small office, I'll take a bigger office. I'll take a bigger room. I want Ganga facing room. I will take this room, I'll take that room. So he saw that they are quarreling for better comforts and better facilities and amenities, just eating food and sleeping and not going out. He said, this is a great curse. There is fire in the mat, he said. Why? Because the purpose for which matta is established is not understood. It is not for the bogies, he says. So then you may ask, then what are they supposed to do? Bhaktivedanta Thakur used to print books and fill up the matha with so many books, there will be no place to sleep. And disciples would complain, where will we sleep? There is no place. He would say, sell the books and make a place to sleep. So they can sleep that day. Next day again, he will print and bring more books. So if you see the Gaudiya Mat symbol, the circle, one side you will find there is a Arati lamp and bell. Another side you will see a Mridangam and printing press. So the Arati and the bell represents Pancharatrika Vidhi, which is deity worship. That is Arati and the bell. And the other one, the Mridanga and the printing press talks Bhagavat Vidhi. That means studying the Srimad Bhagavatam by Shravanam and Kirtanam, and propagating the same message loudly to the whole world, and performing Krishna Sankirtan. That is actually Bhagavata Vidhi. So he said both are important for us. It's like both are limbs of devotion service, but out of the two, Bhagavata Vidhi is more important. He said, hearing and chanting, and also going out and propagating the holy name. That is the purpose of the matha. Matha is like a battalion where the soldiers stay, get trained to go out and perform the war against Maya. And Prabhupada used to say, take these books and drop these books in the lap of conditioned souls who will wake up by getting these books, he used to say. Like when a helicopter drops the bomb, the enemies are destroyed. Similarly, Maya's influence should be destroyed and Krishna's influence should be increased in this world. That is the purpose of the matha. Therefore, matha should be small, activity should be big. Not that matha is very big, then there are no activities, people are eating and sleeping. That is not the matha's purpose. Yeah, please go ahead.
They have been established to preach pure devotion service. We receive blessings as we serve Hari by establishing mathas.
The purpose of the matha is to preach pure devotion service. That should not be forgotten.
Our intention is not to collect 1 or 2 rupees to benefit the matha. We should not be eager to take help from unscrupulous people.
Who are the unscrupulous people? There are people who may want to offer you a donation, and the purpose of their offering, and many a times people earn money by illegal means, dishonest means, and sometimes they give a donation, but they are not ready to hear any spiritual instructions at all. They just throw money like throwing for a beggar. So taking money from such unscrupulous people is not the goal of a matha. Because if somebody is practicing devotion service and they are giving donation, that is even more powerful donation than those who are just throwing money thinking the poor guys just take the money, eat and sleep. Like that. Go ahead.
Rather, if we can benefit anyone by speaking the bold truth, then the matha's purpose is served.
So we can run a matha in 2 ways. Take a suitcase, go out, raise funds, bring it back, cook nice food, offer to deities, eat and go to sleep. That's one way to run matha. Another one is make the matha a place for speaking the bold truth. Present the path of Shuddha Bhakti without any hesitation without any fear, even at the cost of risking people misunderstanding us. We present the truth very clearly, and maybe that may reduce the donations, but one doesn't mind. And one should preach the truth very boldly, like Bhasan Thakur did. Hmm? And then whatever comes is Krishna's grace. Accept that and be satisfied with that. Live a simple life, but don't keep the activity simple. Activity should be very high level activity, which means book should be printed, book should be distributed, Harinam Sankirtan should be happening, Prasadam should be cooked and distributed. Preaching should happen like a university. Many people come and get connected, and they get spiritually awakened, and they get the spiritual vision, Shastra Chakshu, to see the world properly. And they also go to different places and they distribute the knowledge far and wide. That is the Mata's purpose.
People will often play tricks on us. We should consider such tricks as the Lord's test. It is difficult to cross beyond insurmountable Maya unless we are greatly fortunate.
Yeah, what is this trick? Not only people, even demigods play trick on us. I saw one purport in the 12th canto. Purport says that sometimes the demigod sees that somebody is a brahmachari or a sannyasi, is dedicating his life, or even somebody is a grihastha who is very seriously situated in devotional service. Then they may send false followers and and sometimes beautiful women to allure them and pull their leg, because demigod sometimes become envious. In that purport it says, who is the demigod becomes envious? Indra, correct? No? So they may send, but one has to pass the test by firmly sticking to pure devotional service and not fall away. Similarly, nowadays there are so many opportunities for the people to fall away by reading so many unwanted magazines and watching so many unwanted things on internet. So even a person wanting to practice pure devotional service is constantly threatened by various vicious elements all around us in the current day and age. So therefore, such elements may play trick on us. And also there are many people also who are opposed to the path of pure devotional service. So he says that it is difficult, like Mayavadis and Bhogis are both conditioned souls. He says, Bhogis and Tyagis. Read further. By the mercy of?
By the mercy of Krishna's devotees, persons who surrender to Hari can discriminate between good and bad, right and wrong. Know for certain that being drawn by the enjoying spirit, many people cannot realize the absolute truth.
Why we are unable to realize absolute truth? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya apakrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhir samadhavana vidiyate. Samadhi doesn't come in Krishna because of two things, Bhoga and Aishwarya, he says. Same thing he says here. Even though one is supposed to be like a Malayadhwaja, one becomes a Dharmadhvaji. That is also Dhwaja. What is Dharmadhvaji? Dvaji means a person holding a flag. Dharma Dvaji means he's a pretender. What is a pretender? He may have the attire of a religious person. Like for example, Ravana was a Dharma Dvaji. He was having a big jata over his head and having Rudraksha around it, carrying a kamandalu with a long beard and long moustache. Looked like a very great saint in the forest, but his intention was to steal Sita and take her away. Correct, no? So Dharma Dvaji. So that's what he is saying here, that a Vaishnava will not get cheated by such display of so-called religion. Instead of being Dharma Dvaji, one should be Malayadhwaja. Read further.
Not for our comfort. It is more intelligent to create a living matha rather than to build a matha for comfortable living.
You see, the matha, there is a living matha, there is a dead matha. Like sometimes you see when you go on the road, certain churches operate only on Sunday. Monday to Saturday, there is no activity there. It's practically closed and dust covered. No activity. On Sunday, it's very active. Sunday, people come and offer donations also. But actually, living matha means a temple where there is a constant Shravanam Kirtanam going on. Hundreds and thousands of people living in it is suffering souls come there, hear the katha, hear the kirtan, take the darshan, take prasad, chant the holy name, and become purified and relish the Shuddha Bhakti. That's a living matha. Yeah.
Creating a living matha means to attract faithful persons to surrender at the lotus feet of spiritual master. The highest welfare activity
Who
is
are the faithful persons? श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है। अपराध शून्य होय लो कृष्ण नाम, कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण, प्रभुर आज्ञाया भाई मांगिए भिक्षा, बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा, कृष्ण रे संसार करो छाड़ी अनाचा, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सा, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सा। नादे आगो ध्रुव नित्यानंद महाराज, स्वाति याचे नाम हट जीवेर करण, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है। So there are souls who accept this philosophy, which is the core philosophy of all the scriptures. What is it? Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father, Krishna is our relative, is our best friend, he is our wealth, he is our education, he is be all and end all. And therefore, I should call out the holy names of Krishna fervently with sincere devotion and without any pretense, without any offense. And similarly, one should chant not only Krishna's names, one should worship the deity of Krishna, one should study the Krishna Katha and Krishna Upadesh. And three main principles of religion, what are they? Name Ruchi, Devedaya, Vaishnava Seva. Making these three the foundational principles of life. That is actually a faithful persons who practice that. So we have to look for those with a spark who are willing to understand this philosophy and accept it and surrender their lives to it. Yeah. So creating a living matter means to attract such faithful persons to surrender at the lotus feet of spiritual master. Then for them, Krishna becomes their life and soul. Go ahead.
The highest welfare activity is to attract living entities to serve the spiritual master's lotus feet by describing to them the spiritual master's glories and service. For this, we spend gallons of blood. Such preaching will please both Guru and Krishna. Therefore, to dedicate body, mind, and speech to such philanthropic activities is the perfection of life.
People are so foolish, they think philanthropic activity means just distribute food or distribute clothes, distribute medicines. And they say, what your Guruji is doing? Your Guruji is just taking a bongo and just, beating Hare Krishna, Hare Rama is chanting. So we should tell the Acharya's glories to them. We should tell them that, hey, what are you? You don't know. He is dispatching souls from this world to that world. From the material world to spiritual world. And this is the highest service. Tell the glory of Acharya's greatest contribution. If you give food to somebody, they will eat food and still be crying. If you give medicine, they may apply the medicine, they may get cured again, another disease will come. If you, even if you do some material favor, it will last for a short while. But if you help a soul to go back to Godhead, then yadgatva nani vartante. That's the greatest service. And then, so tell the Acharya's greatest contribution. And in this way, dedicating body, mind and speech to Lord Hari's service, that's the best service. Read further.
The Matha, surcharged with talk of Krishna's glories and service, is non-different from Vaikuntha. Thus, living in a Matha is just like living in a Dham. Harikatha must be prominent in the Matha. There is no use in building a Matha simply to facilitate eating and sleeping. Matha should be built only to spread Harikatha. This will benefit us and others.
Yeah. Actually, in every place, something is prominent. You go to the chamber of commerce, people are talking about money, huh, business. You go to a hospital, there is a lot of talks about diseases, medicines, treatment, and different type of departments where they do different tests and all that. It's prominent with that. Is it not true? Huh? Anywhere you go, there is some prominent activity happening there. Similarly, temple should be activity. When people come, there should be Harinam, there should be Hari Kirtan. It should be vibrant in the temple. That is the main. The other things are secondary. Eating, sleeping is a secondary business. That's not the main thing. That's a side business. Yeah. Uh,
Devotees who are fully dedicated to their spiritual master are the living source, and we are here.
we have to.
We are to hear from such living sources so that we too can become dedicated devotees. People devoid and bereft of service to the spiritual master are dead, even as they breathe. Do not associate with such non devotees if you do not want to harm your spiritual progress.
So there are two types of people. One are living, another one is dead. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a word used, living dead. Huh? Where does this come? Huh? There is a what is it? Tarava kim na jivanti, bastra kim na shashantyuta, nakadanti na meghanti, kim grame pashavo apare. That's one verse. There is one. Jivan ape mruto hisaya. What is that verse? Neha yat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirthapada sevaya jivan api mruto hisaha. That's a verse. Huh? See what it says? Neha yat karma dharmaya. You are doing, say, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra karma you are doing. And that karma should lead you to dharma. What is the dharma? You have to offer the fruits to Lord. Huh? Then it becomes dharma. Otherwise, useless it is. Aneka yat karma dharmaya. And then as you keep offering fruits to Lord, you become detached. It produces vairagya from the material world and attraction to spiritual world. Na viragaya kalpate. And then as you focus on the spiritual world, then pure devotees become attractive for you. Huh? Then you start reading books like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and gradually come to chanting holy name and then purifying the heart and going back to God. So karma leads to dharma, dharma leads to attraction to the acharyas, and then attraction to them leads to Shuddha Bhakti, huh? And the Shuddha Bhakti ultimately takes us back to Godhead. If it doesn't happen, he says Jivan Napi Martohi Sahat. Then a person is called living dead, he's saying. Now, we have experience in our preaching. In the beginning, one or two or three very powerful people come in any place you go, and they carry a lot of life in them. You can see how enthusiastic they are in chanting, dancing, and studying and practicing. For them, Krishna becomes life and soul, and we also become very happy. How many of you experience in your preaching some newcomer showed great enthu, and then even you are surprised. Even I don't have so much enthu like that. You have seen that? Correct? You've seen that. But then eventually, as the number increases, 10, 20, 30 people come, you find that some people are alive, some are dead. And the dead people always think about what is the food, what is the comfort, what facility and privileges I can get. You know, they become very selfish and they think about their own things. They don't think about the mission. They don't think about serious practice also. Then what happens? Such a center becomes difficult to run. Huh? Because sometimes in college also when we do a program, we have a group of 20, 30 people. Just because you have to pay the rent for a particular building, then we keep more people. Those are not serious. Then those less serious people spoil the place. You agree? No. Like we have a facility here in the top, here, where students stay there. So, and they go for job from here or college from here. They go, that's a facility. Why this facility is being provided? Not that they can have a cheaper accommodation and proper food so that they can do their, studies and company job alone. That can be done definitely. But what is the primary goal of this facility? Primary goal is they learn pure devotional service. When they are here, 3, 4, 5 years, they will learn. After that, when they have to go and get married outside, before marriage, they have become stable devotees. Then they have the adhikar to lead a family, wife, children, family, and everything. Otherwise, simply staying here is no use. Even brahmacharis or boys who stay in the temple, our opportunity, this is a golden opportunity for us to purify our heart and then learn the path of pure devotion service based on Prabhupada's purports and the association of wonderful devotees like Anandamaya Prabhu and many other devotees. So we are here for that purpose. We are all apprentice in our life. You know apprentice? Huh? There are many great souls, and we become apprentice and we learn from them. That's the purpose of this place. Huh? Then we can be living people. So we want to be living people or dead people? Living people. Huh? Living people means we carry the sound vibration always with us, and that is what that charms us. Huh? Uh, a person who is attracted to the spiritual sound vibration is a living person. Huh? A person who considers spiritual sound vibration a side thing and becomes focused on material advantages in a temple, that's a dead person. That's the difference. So in this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's instructions are very valuable. His teachings are very powerful for all devotees. So what is the purpose of the temple? So in Amritvani, from his instructions, these are put together in one place. And very easy to grasp it, at least we understand what it is. Only we have to live up to that. If we really want to perfect our lives. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. I can take 2-3 minutes questions, 5 minutes. Any mic? We have a mic? Yeah.
Priji, when we are talking about these dead people, surely some dead people will be there. So what to do? Should we try to awake them?
I don't call them dead people, I call them unconscious people. Because materialistic people are dead people. Those who are totally materialistic and who are switched off to Krishna completely, they are dead people. But those who are coming to our centers many times, they may not be dead, they are unconscious. Because they were at one time showing some life. Now they become unconscious. They have to be woken up now. Is it not true?
So how much time we should spend to wake them up?
And that is how it becomes burdensome. So we have to first of all set a good example ourselves. Because you can attract others by our good example. Example is better than precept, it is said. Correct, no? You become the change what you want to see in others. First we have to check, are we sound enough? We may call others dead, are we alive? We have to check it. That's the first thing. And the second thing, we can also provide them training, education, and opportunity and facilities for them to appreciate pure devotional service. Like for example, we are bringing many great souls here to come and give their lectures. So many Maharajas have come here. Similarly, we have very attractive kirtan going on every morning. Our Vishwakirti Prabhu goes. And the same manner, very beautiful festivals for the deities are celebrated here. And prasadam is cooked and provided. Many senior devotees like Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu, Radhakrishna Prabhu, they are all giving lectures and available here. Anandamaya Prabhu. So the people are being provided with abundant opportunities for becoming devotee. We have to check whether, besides setting example, are we providing opportunities. Many times in many places I travel, the Shravanam Kirtanam is not happening, due to which others also don't become awakened. So we have to check, am I a transmitter of sound vibration, spiritual sound vibration? Am I doing it? Imagine if I just go to a center and do management. Hey, let us try this strategy, that strategy, all strategy without any Shravanam Kirtanam. Then what is the use of all strategies? It's a big string of zeros. Strategies are good, provided the main program is Shravanam and Kirtanam. Because Prabhupada said management meeting should be for increasing the preaching or increasing book distribution. Is it happening? Otherwise, the management is a big zero. Preaching related management, preaching expansion management. So, therefore, the emphasis should be given. Even the preachers sometimes, they become more of managers than preachers. Organizing things, get the gas cylinder, get the grocery, cook and, feed the people and keep a track of the database and reply the mails. And then you find all things are happening except Shravanam Kirtana. And then what happens? The center cannot be a lively center. So, and why such management has increased, if you see, we have taken in too many people who are dead, who are not alive. So it's better to have less number of alive people and management becomes.
Actually, that management also increases. Very few people are then everything comes on then only. Yesterday we
No,
were
no,
in a GS
actually
class.
few people, like in America in my travels now, what we are doing in Dallas, for example, 5 boys are staying and another room 2 are staying, one room 3 are staying. So everybody cooks their own. Cooking for 3 people, cooking for 5 people doesn't take much management. They do it on their own. They take turns. 5 boys are cooking on 5 days of the week. Saturday, Sunday, they all cook together. They do. So where is management here? Very little management for them. And then they can do Shravanam Kirtan very nicely. Imagine having 30 people in one center. And many of them are lazy. They say, I will not roll chapati, I will not cook. Huh? And management increases. So actually, maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. Huh? The maximize Krishna time means it should be made in such a way that, therefore, we have to be very intelligent to be always awake to see whether the purpose of our centers are being accomplished or not. Otherwise, we can close down the centers. It is useless. It is. Uh, one time we were discussing in one of the meetings, we go to a particular place and start a center. At the time, there was one good soul, and the good soul has graduated already. After the good soul goes away, spirit also goes away. The rest of the fellows, they are running it like a mess. It's a giant mess. Hmm. Then the center has lost its life. Huh? Then it becomes a big burdensome thing for us. So then I was telling that in any place you go, 2, 3, 4 years, center is very flourishing. After that, many anti-element problems come. So we should have a mobile center. We should have. Go to a place, as long as good souls are coming, run it. It's not there, wind up and go to another place. Isn't it? So the whole idea is we want to, therefore we have to be always Simavalokam. We say, no, watch, look back. Are we serving the purpose? And see, I am in this ISKCON society since 1994. Many people ask me, so why are you so much emphasizing on these things? Why I emphasize? Because once I asked a question to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj when he came to Bombay. He gave a lecture on leadership seminar. So I told him, Maharaj, we are going to open a big temple in Pune, NVCC. So lot of departments are there, more than 80 departments are there. And every year, almost 1 million people come there. And 10 lakh people come there every year. So huge crowd is coming, going. And I was asking Maharaj, I am worried that the material vibration will take over. And the purpose for which the temple is made may not be accomplished. So what would you suggest that we reduce the management time and we will be able to actually, keep the temple, keep everybody spiritually enlivened, I asked. So Maharaj said, he gave an example. He said, in a chula, in a furnace, if you put firewood, big, thick firewood you put, it causes smoke. Correct, no? But if you blow and increase the fire, and the fire is engulfing the firewood, it will consume everything. Then there will be no more smoke. So he said, increase the fire of Sankirtan to such a degree that there will be no material component. He said, material component will be completely finished. He said. So he said, whether small temple or big temple, the formula is same. He said, you have to increase the Sankirtan fire. How do you know? What is Sankirtan fire means? Interest in chanting of the japa properly in the morning, hearing of the Shrimad Bhagavatam, going out on Harinam Sankirtan like Prabhu is doing, distributing prasad, going out and preaching, taking book bag and going out. Not seeing temple as a facility for comfortably eating and sleeping. And that means the Sankirtan fire is increasing. And many people who come also, they will start chanting, dancing, and they will experience the joy of spiritual life when they come here. Correct, no? Then as Maharaj was telling, you don't have to worry, Radheshyam. He said, you have many good devotees. He said, keep the Sankirtan fire on. So after that, we started 24 hours Kirtan on Ekadashi days. 24 hours Kirtan goes on Ekadashi days. Now, many new components we have added. Like every day we have chanting, about 300 to 500 people chant one round every day in the temple. And then some of them, if they are agreeable to chant one round every day on their home, we give them free mala also. And we have started free prasad in the morning, free prasad in the afternoon also. So after we started this, morning 300 people, afternoon 300 people come. Yeah. So many, and also not that they just come and eat and go. Afternoon when they come, we make them chant one round. Before, in the prasadam hall only. Sitting in front of the plate, you chant. Hare Krishna. Yeah. And then when they're eating prasad, we'll read from Krishna book also. And after the prasad, we will ask them, now you heard about Krishna, you chanted one round, you took prasad, would you like to chant one round every day? They say, yes, take the mala with you. So in this way, we have to make the temple a facility for expanding the Sankirtan movement. Then it can be a living temple with living people. Prabhu would like to say something, Prabhu? And my Prabhu, give the mic to him. What Prabhu said? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, in an association, sometimes happen that a senior devotee is there who's long term in Krishna consciousness, but when there's like new devotee comes and he take the responsibility, that senior devotee shows less interest. Means
You should give the senior devotee a higher service. We say give up to go up. Huh? You give up the smaller service, you take a bigger service. Like right now in Pune, for example, I've been a president since 1997 now. Now I got added service now. Now I am a regional secretary assistant for 5 places like Aurangabad and Ahmednagar, Kolhapur, Satara and Pune. I have to travel to those places. Now I got additional service in Hyderabad also now. Now one more service is abroad also. I do 3 months I go to US also. So now although I'm not directly doing president service in Pune, I have many other services now. So it's not that a senior devotee becomes senior and then he gives up the service. He has to have another service.
but at the same time, he has to be more enthusiastic or interested to take the service.
Yeah.
But if he's not interested, then what?
Then we have to find out what is a spiritual sound vibration that is going into his system. Because spiritual sound vibration is the cause of enthusiasm. Spiritual enthusiasm comes from spiritual sound vibration. If one is hearing, he has to be inspired by some Vaishnava, devotee. I tell the people, find out in this entire world of 8 billion population, don't you have one Vaishnava who is inspiring you? Do you think you are the only Vaishnava? You have to ask the fellow. If he's inspired, then you tell him, hear the lecture, get inspired, become enthusiastic and serve. Correct now?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Vedanpa would like to say something. Let's give the mic to him.
Thank you, Prabhu, for reading Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's, purpose of the temple. That is very inspiring. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that he is very clear and very bold in presenting. The purpose of the temple is only for pure devotees, not for dead people, not to even take donations from unscrupulous people and all that. But actually, if we keep these ideals in our temples, I think, we'll only float pure devotional service and we'll not run after, followers, we'll not run after people who are, trying to give some donation and try to control the temple, and all these activities would not happen.
Correct.
Unfortunately, even, as Kali Yuga progressing, even that spirit is also sometimes we see missing in our temples. That we may be wanting to see that more people come to the temple. In that, we ignore the core activities. Because when we actually have more people, just like a picnic spot, sometimes people come.
Yeah.
Sometimes most of the people who come to the temple, they are just interested in selfies and all that. But if we don't have an educational program to actually, awaken their Krishna consciousness, although that temple may be, floating with so many people, it's still a dead temple only. So fortunately, Srila Prabhupada has given us this, spirit of preaching, which Bhaktisiddhanta said, only a person of life will preach. Otherwise, he is a dead person. So I see that, that spirit is kept in our temple here, and all our programs are geared up for that kind of a, purpose. So I feel very happy that this temple is Prabhupada's temple, and Prabhupada's temple is following Bhaktisiddhanta's standard of increasing the spirit. So I'm very grateful to you for being part of that. Very happy to, read. I mean, once again, look at the purpose for which these temples are established.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Just like, if I ask you, please can you get me a Bisleri bottle? Imagine somebody comes and gives me an empty bottle. Hey, I didn't ask an empty bottle. I wanted. If I say get a Bisleri bottle, mean get water. So what is important? Empty bottle or water? Even if you give me water in a glass, I won't mind. But you can get a Bisleri bottle and put in a glass and give me, I won't mind. But what I want when I say Bisleri means water. Similar, temple means Krishna consciousness. Without Krishna consciousness, the temple doesn't carry any weight. When Prabhupada, one last thing I'll say and conclude. When Gandhi passed away, in Gandhi's name, one trust was started. And Gandhi's people told all over India that we have a big crores of rupees have come now in Gandhi's name. So we want to use that money effectively. So any of you Gandhians in India, give us an idea how that money can be well spent. Like that they asked. So many people gave ideas. Just like our Prime Minister takes Man Ki Baat, people write, different ideas. Like that, many people wrote ideas. Our Prabhupada also wrote idea. What Prabhupada said, he said Gandhi always carried Bhagavad Gita with him. In the political meetings also. In the beginning and the end, he would do kirtan. Sometimes he would read a few pages. Some shlokas from second chapter he would read. So Prabhupada said, because Gandhi loved Bhagavad Gita, I request that his money be used for distributing Bhagavad Gitas in schools. That's the first thing Prabhupada said. So school children are getting education. Let them get education in Bhagavad Gita, he said. And the second thing Prabhupada said, Gandhi also opened one Radhakrishna temple in Naokhali. Naokhali is a place in Bangladesh. Why he opened Radhakrishna temple? Gandhi said that many temples are run by Brahmins in India and they don't allow the lower caste people to enter the temples because lower caste people sometimes drink wine and eat meat and all. They don't allow them to come in. And that was leading to lower caste people going more astray. So Gandhi said, I will open a temple for the Harijans. So he opened temple there and he had a plan to open temples in many parts of India. Like that. Gandhi had a plan. So Prabhupada said, but Gandhi passed away. So his money can be used for opening Radhakrishna temples all across the country. That's the second idea he gave. And third idea, Prabhupada said, most of the places in India, the temples are abundantly available. You can see Gali Gali Mein Mandir. In India, you find. Evening, you go anywhere, you can hear the Aarti sounds, many places, ringing, and people are singing some Aarti song. People come and go. But Prabhupada said, still, those temples are not spiritually active centers. He said, the reason is, any spiritually active center should have 5 things, Prabhupada said. There should be Krishna Darshan, there should be Krishna Shiksha, there should be Krishna Bhakta Sangha, and Krishna Nam, and Krishna Prasad. So Prabhupada said, we are opening ISKCON temples, where we have Krishna Darshan, Radha Madan Mohan Darshan. Then we have Krishna Shiksha, we have a bookstall where you get books, Prabhupada books. Krishna Shiksha. Then Krishna Bhakta Sangha, there are devotees living in the temple and who are preaching the message. If you read a book and you get a doubt, you can meet the devotees and ask clarification. Krishna Bhakta Sangha. Then Krishna Nam, we distribute the holy name, but through distributing malas. And Krishna Prasadam. But Prabhupada said most Indian temples, they give one small quantity of prasad, revdi or some tilgul. Little bit they give, little prasad, and then people do some arati. Sometimes nobody is there for arati, they just put a machine, ting, tong, tong, like that they put a machine. And people just come and go away. So Prabhupada said, all our temples should have 5 things like that. And Prabhupada said, if you are ready to make the temples, I will give you the software for running the temples. All over the country, you make such temples, he said. So, in this way, Prabhupada, from his part, he was always endeavoring to utilize all the possible opportunities to propagate the Sankirtan movement. Wherever there was an opportunity, you can see his heart. So, this year is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's 150th year. There's a big celebration. Our Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of India, also has spoken about Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, appreciating our Gaudiya line. It's a very great moment of joy for ISKCON devotees also, because Srila Prabhupada is the gift that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gave us, because of which Prabhupada became founder Acharya of ISKCON in that first historical meeting that happened in Ultadanga Junction, isn't it? So we are gratefully remembering Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and his instructions, which our Srila Prabhupada very faithfully followed and established the GBC as per his Guru's order, due to which we all are flourishing in our devotion service. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Kaliuga Pavana Harinam Sankirtan ki. బృహత్ మృదంగకి